President Trump arrives in Hanoi, Vietnam, for second peace summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Thank you for listening. Jim Beckwith reporting here at End Times Prophecy News. Donald Trump making history once again, making great news for us. Check this one out. President Donald Trump arrived in Hanoi today, Vietnam, on Tuesday, prior to his meetings with North Korean tyrant Kim Jong-un. The two leaders will meet for their second summit on Wednesday and Thursday. So we're going to take a listen here from Fox News, which has some great commentary. I like this commentary from this reporter from Fox News. I forgot his name, but you'll listen to it here.
The president to fire off missiles, and you call it a stalemate at that point. To fire off missiles, and you call it a stalemate at that point. As President Trump gets off Air Force One, we'll watch the reception at the bottom of the staircase there. Would that, Daniel, be an acceptable way to go into the future? Chairman Kim stays in power, they keep their communist system, and he is able to keep between 20 and 60 nuclear warheads.
You know, I always felt like, look, Chairman Kim is a ruthless dictator. The negotiations with North Korea are extraordinarily complex and challenging. And to think that we would go straight from zero to denuclearization is probably unrealistic. I agree with you that an arms control regime which freezes North Korea's nuclear and ballistic missiles and allows inspectors into the country is a pit stop on the way eventually to denuclearization. It would make a lot of sense.
This is a remarkable moment we're watching here, along with Sandra Smith and Daniel Hoffman and John Roberts. Michael Anton is going to join us in a moment. But you think about this moment in American history and Vietnamese history. The American president comes back to Hanoi. This is a country that wants to show itself off for the system it's developed. I called it a saggy form of communism. It's allowed a level of capitalism to flourish, and flourish it has. When you look at the amount of growth here, close to 7% every year for the past 6 years. And
I believe he's talking about 7% gross domestic product.
Still growing. You look at Hanoi and the way it's just taken off. He's going to make the case to Kim that this can be yours too. Would Kim ever buy that?
I think Kim is acutely aware of just how decrepit his own economy is. And he knows there are great benefits, but there are also risks when you open up your economy, as he might. Then if his people lose the fear they have in his government and attain some economic freedom, that could risk his regime's security. So it's a delicate balancing act, frankly.
The president with the arrival committee here for the moment, and then he's going to make his way into his own limousine and make a trek across town. And this was a president who was here in March of last year, the coastal city of Da Nang, which is midway down the coast, about the halfway mark between Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City in the south. And Da Nang was the air base during the Vietnam War. It was quite a substantial setup for the U.S. military. It has transformed itself into a vacation paradise, a coastal city with all the trappings of 2019 modern day. So the president has seen and gotten a taste of this country on that trip. But he's about to see a different side of Vietnam on this time.
You know, you mentioned Kim's 2,800-mile train trek here to Vietnam. He reportedly stopped along the way at Chinese industrial cities as well as Vietnamese factories, which is something that his father and grandfather used to do, and it just highlights again the disparity between his country and this booming economy here in Vietnam.
You mentioned that train trip. He could have flown here in about an hour.
Right.
And a little more than that flying time. That train took 60 hours. And that was a symbol in itself to...
All right, so what you're seeing is just another 4D chess brilliant move by your commander-in-chief to take and meet on this summit with Kim Jong-un in the thriving, economic, booming town of Hanoi, Vietnam, and the nation. It's brilliant. to show him how he can turn from his communist regime and have a nice booming economy. That's what it's all about. And what does the Bible say? Well, the most important thing of what Cyrus does, which I know and believe that Donald Trump is Cyrus. As it says in 45, Isaiah chapter 45, 1, thus saith the Lord to his anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I have holden, to subdue nations. He doesn't fight them. He subdues them. Kim Jong-un. And I will loose the loins of kings to open before him the two leaf gates, and the gates shall not be shut. These are the gates of hell, where he takes the wealth out of, I think it's Nebuchadnezzar who stole the wealth from Israel and gives it back to Israel. Nebuchadnezzar stole it and put it in his kingdom, and then Cyrus takes it out and gives it back to back to Israel. I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass and cut in sunder the bars of iron, that are those bars of iron that go around the two leaf gates. And I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord, which call thee by thy name, am the God of Israel. Praise the Lord for Cyrus. Jorge Ramos, we have an update in Venezuela, was pulled out of the video of kids eating garbage from trucks when socialist tyrant Maduro had him detained. Yes, he's an ardent Trump hater, and he's also a U.S. citizen. So the White House had to call for Maduro to let him go, and they answered the plea right away. Univision reported Monday night that their anchor, Jorge Ramos, and his staff were being held by the socialist Venezuelan regime at the Miraflores Palace in Caracas. Jorge Ramos, a U.S. citizen and Mexican citizen, was held after his interview with Nicolas Maduro after filming Venezuelans in the socialist regime eating garbage from trucks. That exposes Maduro as a big fat liar. He's lying to the world, saying his people, 70% of his people who are starving to death are not starving at all. That's why he burned the trucks of humanitarian aid. That's why he detained him and interrogated him. When will the Venezuelan military turn from Maduro? On Tuesday morning, Barney and company reported the socialist tyrant Nicolas Maduro was upset with Ramos after he pulled up video of people eating garbage from trucks. And now we will go to God's precious word. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 5. My son, attend unto my wisdom, and bow thine ear to my understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion, and that thy lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as an honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil, but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell. Lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life, her ways are movable, that thou canst not know them. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy way from her, and come not nigh the door of her house, lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel. Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger, and thou mourn at the last when thy flesh and thy body are consumed, and say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined mine ear to them that instructed me. Thank you for listening. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very important announcement. Would you like to see most of your illnesses go away? Let me introduce you to the Water Smacker. A new modern breakthrough in science has come to knowledge, ridding your body of many toxins through this state-of-the-art new technology. The testimonials are endless. People have been healed of shingles, pancreas survivor healed, colon cancer patient healed. Your skin returns its oil back to itself and elasticity. Gray hair goes away. Look younger. Red blood cells return to being round. Plaque in your arteries is wiped out. Blood pressure is lowered. Feel stronger and have more energy. Return to a more youthful feeling and look. Pick up your water smacker today for only $350, and don't forget to mention Brother Jim sent you. The link is down below along with the website and other videos for a much longer description. Thank you.